What happens when two music legends known for their incredible careers have a face-off in front of a live audience? What if this moment is so unexpected that it leaves everyone stunned? Today, we're breaking down a heated exchange on The Kelly Clarkson Show that no one saw coming. This moment shocked not only the audience but also millions of viewers at home. If you haven't seen it yet, you won't want to miss what went down between Kelly Clarkson and Willie Nelson. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments. Whose side are you on after hearing this whole story? Picture this. Kelly Clarkson's show is buzzing, the energy is high, and then out comes the country legend himself, Willie Nelson. The audience erupts into applause. It's the kind of moment everyone expects. The usual cheerful greetings, a bit of music, and a friendly chat about Willie's decades-long career. Kelly, ever the professional, welcomes him with her signature. Smile, the crowd cheering, and Willie takes his seat, looking as calm and grounded as always. But something shifts as Kelly kicks things off with her usual light-hearted charm. She says, "Willie, it's such an honor to have you here. You've been making music longer than I've been alive." The audience laughs and Willie grins, acknowledging the compliment. But then Kelly goes on, "Your voice, it's like the soundtrack of America itself," and Willie nods humbly in response. Kelly's praise is genuine, but there's an undercurrent of something more that we don't see yet. Kelly starts the conversation in her usual warm and friendly manner, complimenting Willie on his legendary career, and the audience loves it. But Kelly's next question seems to make the air shift. "Speaking of authenticity," she says, her voice taking on a more serious tone, "I want to ask you about something you said recently in an interview. You mentioned that newer artists today don't have the same grit that your generation had. Can you elaborate on that?" You could feel the atmosphere change instantly. Willie pauses, his calm demeanor remaining unchanged, but his words clearly weighed with some level of criticism. "Well, the industry has changed. It's more about the business now than it is about the music," he begins. "Back in my day, you had to really earn it. We played in dive bars, toured in old vans. It wasn't about the glitz. It was about living the music, living the life." Kelly's expression remains friendly, but her eyes sharpen. "Right, but Willie, you do realize that a lot of us did that too, right?" she says. "I came from nothing. I sang in bars. I fought for my chance on a competition show just to get a shot. Are you telling me that doesn't count as earning it?" Willie's face doesn't betray much emotion, but his reply hits hard. "I wasn't talking about you specifically, Kelly. I'm talking about the system. The way people are packaged now, it's not about the authenticity of the music anymore." Kelly's response is swift, and there's a noticeable edge in her voice now. "But Willie, don't you think that sounds a little dismissive?" she asks. "You're putting an entire generation of artists in a box." The audience is starting to feel the shift as Kelly leans in slightly, her tone firm but controlled. "I had producers too, Willie. I had a team, but that doesn't mean my music isn't real." Willie's words are deliberate and steady. "I'm sure you worked hard, Kelly," he says, almost as if to placate her. "But the question is whether the music is still genuine when it's crafted by committees, when it's marketable before it even reaches the listeners." Kelly's jaw tightens and the tension in the air is undeniable. "So you think American Idol winners, artists like me, are part of the problem?" She presses, her voice firm but controlled. The challenge is clear now, and Willie doesn't back down. "Well," Willie exhales slowly, "I think the issue is bigger than any one person. But yes, shows like that, they changed what music is. It's no longer about raw talent. It's about the image and the market." The audience is growing quieter as this conversation escalates. The back and forth has gone from a casual chat to something far more intense. Kelly's expression is now one of clear frustration. "So, let me get this straight. You think I'm just another manufactured artist?" she asks, her voice barely above a whisper. Willie doesn't flinch. "I'm not saying you're not genuine, Kelly," he responds calmly. "I'm just saying that the system has taken the soul out of music. It's more about what sells than what's true." Kelly shakes her head, her voice rising now. "You're calling me fake, Willie. That's what it sounds like. I've worked my ass off to get where I am, and you're telling me that doesn't count." Willie, ever the picture of composure, stays silent for a moment before he speaks again. You might have worked hard, Kelly, but I'm talking about the bigger picture. The industry has turned artists into products. At this point, Kelly's patience seems to have run out. She stands up abruptly, and the audience reacts. "Unbelievable?" she says, her voice almost shaking with emotion. "I invited you here because I respect you, Willie. But I'm not going to sit here and let you disrespect me, my journey, or the millions of artists who've worked just as hard as you did, just in different ways." Willie doesn't immediately stand, but his expression darkens. "I'm not disrespecting you, Kelly. I'm being honest. Maybe that's something you're not used to hearing." Kelly's eyes widen, her anger rising. "Not used to hearing honesty? Are you serious? I've spent my entire career being transparent about who I am and what I've been through. And you're sitting here acting like I'm some kind of puppet because I didn't do it your way." Willie looks at her, unfazed. "I'm not calling you a puppet. I'm just saying there's a difference between honesty and being part of a machine." The silence in the room becomes deafening. Kelly's face flushes with frustration as she crosses her arms, looking directly at Willie. "And you think I haven't experienced pain?" She snaps. "You think I haven't fought for every single opportunity? I've been broke, sleeping on couches and getting rejected by labels. I've fought for my place in this industry, just like you did. And you have the nerve to sit here and tell me I don't know what real struggle is?" Willie's eyes narrow slightly. "It's not about your personal struggle, Kelly. It's about the soul of the music itself. When it becomes about sales and image, we lose something important." Kelly's voice shakes with frustration. "And you think I'm part of that problem because I didn't follow the same path you did? You think my success is just because of some executive's plan? You don't think my heart is in my music?" The tension in the room is thick. Kelly's grip on the conversation is slipping, but she's not backing down. Willie remains unshaken, his tone calm and measured. "I'm not questioning your heart, Kelly. What I'm saying is that when the system controls everything, we lose the real connection to the music." Kelly's face hardens. "So you think I'm just a product? You think all the music I've made, all the people I've touched, means nothing because I didn't pay my dues the right way?" Willie tilts his head, taking a moment before answering. "It's not about your talent. It's about the way the industry works now. It's no longer about the art. It's about how it sells." Kelly shakes her head. "So what are you trying to say? That I'm not real? That my music isn't valid?" She stands up straighter now, her voice controlled but filled with emotion. "I'm not apologizing for how I got here. I'm not apologizing for my success. And I sure as hell won't let you sit here and belittle everything I've worked for." Willie finally stands, his movements slow and deliberate. "I didn't come here to fight," he says, his voice still steady. "I came here to share my perspective. If you can't handle it, that's not my problem." Kelly glares at him. "It's not about handling it, Willie. It's about respect. You can disagree with me all you want, but don't disrespect me, my work, or the people who've supported me." Willie's jaw tightens. "I'm not disrespecting anyone, Kelly. I'm just speaking the truth." Kelly's voice rises as she shakes her head. "No, you're not. You're hiding behind the truth to push your own agenda, and I won't let you do it on my stage." Kelly takes a deep breath, and for the first time it's clear how hurt she is by Willie's words. "You think I'm fragile, huh? Is that it? You think I can't handle criticism?" she asks, her voice shaking. Willie remains calm, but his eyes flash with something unreadable. "I'm not saying you're fragile, Kelly. I'm saying you're too sensitive to hear the truth." Kelly laughs bitterly. "No, I'm not fragile. But I'm done with you sitting here tearing down everything I stand for. I've spent 20 years in this industry, and I'm not going to let you define my worth." The air is heavy now, charged with emotion. Willie opens his mouth, but Kelly interrupts. "I think we're done here, Willie. You've crossed a line. You've come onto my show, disrespected me, and now you're calling me fragile because I don't accept your judgment." The audience is silent. Willie doesn't say anything more. He simply nods slowly, as though he's resigned to the fact that the conversation is over. As Willie begins to walk off the stage, the tension lingers in the air. Kelly takes a deep breath, her body still shaking, and she turns to the camera, speaking directly to the audience. Well, I think we all need a minute to process what just happened, she says, her voice shaky but strong. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll explain why I had to take a stand and why sometimes you just have to put boundaries in place, no matter who you're up against. The cameras cut to commercial, but the damage has been done. The fallout from this moment will be felt far beyond the studio. On social media, people are already taking sides. Some say Kelly overreacted, that Willie was just being honest. Others say Willie was completely out of line, that he disrespected her on her own show. In the end, this wasn't just a debate about music. It was about respect, values, and what it means to stay true to yourself in an industry that's constantly evolving. Kelly stood her ground. Willie stood his, and neither of them were willing to back down. Now, I want to know what you think. After hearing this exchange, do you think Kelly was right to stand up to Willie, or do you think she overreacted? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. We'll keep following this story as it unfolds.